I hate to be the bearer of bad news, y'all, but the judge that was caught lunch hunching was one of our sisters, y'all. This is the judge, and it was leaked by Todd Chrisley because apparently she's the one that sentenced him to 14 years and presided over his criminal case. Keep in mind, Todd Chrisley was pardoned by the guy in the White House. Now, the person she was hunching was a top-ranking police commander, and this is him. So there's no swirling going on at all whatsoever. And apparently they were hunching in the chambers, and it was so loud that law clerks said they were disturbed by the amount of kissing and moaning and music and like sounds that they heard coming from the chambers. And this often happened while the judge and the police officer was in uniform. So not only are you hunching on the clock, but you're hunching in your uniform and everybody can hear you. Don't nobody want to hear all that. What's crazy about this is now Todd Chrisley is calling for her removal and saying she needs to be impeached and she needs to be removed. She couldn't preside on my case because she was too busy getting her cheeks clapped, blah, 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 blah. This is absolutely insane. If you're going to engage in an extramarital affair, don't do it at work. Don't do it at all, but certainly don't do it at work. Go to Motel 8 and hunch in peace, because everybody don't want to hear all that.
Hey cousins, happy Saturday. So we're still talking about the judge who was lunch humping, as this beautiful young lady said. Now, someone in my comment made a statement, and I just had to ask, do you think, talk about what did they do wrong? Was there any SA? You think it's appropriate to be lunch hunching in your chambers, your judge's chambers, while you're at work? Do you think it's appropriate to be hunching at work at all? Apparently for that person, it is. So now, Chris Chrisley, who I used to watch their shows. I need to start catching up with the show because I don't know how Julie put up with him. He's calling for her impeachment. Okay, let's listen to what a couple other.
Would you have reported her if she was your boss and you heard her having sex on company time,
lunch hunching,
in the judge's chambers?
Jesus.
And y'all, federal judge Eleanor Ross, she has a type. At the top is her wonderful husband,
yes.
Judge Brian Ross. He's the DeKalb County judge in Georgia. And then below is the man that she had an affair with.
They look like brothers.
Atlanta Deputy Chief Kelly Collier.
They look like brothers. She has a type. Stick with your husband.
They kind of look alike, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you wonder why I have Todd and Julie Chrisley there, well, because they're probably sitting there drinking their tea, laughing because, see, she actually presided over their trial. Remember when they did federal time for tax evasion?
Yeah.
And then the court ruled that she miscalculated Julie's time. Julie went back to court. She gave Julie the same time. And then President Trump said, okay, they can get out. Forget all of y'all. Yeah, they're probably laughing now. Now, the affair between Judge Eleanor Ross and Kelly Collier was between 2023 and 2025. So it lasted over a couple of years.
Yes.
So what happened was her employees, would hear them in her chambers. They heard music. Yeah. They heard sounds of kissing. They heard sounds of
sucking, slurping, and all of that, cheek clapping.
Sex, So yeah, you are on taxpayers' dime,
right?
Doing this. That's disgusting. Mm-hmm. Now, I guess, is being investigated. The Atlanta Police Department has not said too much on that. So when that comes about, I'll let you know. I feel bad for her husband because he is kind of taken straight in this, because he does not want to be mixed up in this mess. And I'm just speaking as anybody with common sense would. Her husband has a very distinguished career. First, he was in the Army. Thank you so much for your service. He was an assistant district attorney in Newton County. He had his own law firm. Then he was a senior assistant district attorney for Clayton County. And he has been a DeKalb County judge for the last 10 years.
Wow.
And now he has to know that his wife has had an affair, and he finds out because they did an investigation. Now, what happened to old girl? Well, let me tell you, nothing happened to her. She's been reprimanded, and reprimanded for having the affair, and she has to write a letter of apology to her employees for listening to this filth. And then She also lied when they investigated. She
Right.
lied, saying that didn't happen. And also, she even attended a public political event. And if you're a judge, you are supposed to be nonpartisan.
Right.
So they also slapped her wrist on that. But they said because she was such an exemplary judge, then they let it go. That was the most she's going to get. Do y'all think she should have gotten more? Also, he's married. I'll give you guys more information when I find out. Bye, y'all.
Oh, child, they're both married. How scandalous and sinful. Huh. Both of y'all is married. Oh, Lord. This is Todd Chrisley, not talking about this specific incident, but talking about the judge. I'm about to read his statement.
Judge Eleanor Ross, when you look at her cases and you look at how many have been flipped back from the appellate court,
Wow.
the number is astronomical. And that is something that we need to be looking into, because you have these judges that do not have the education or the bandwidth just because you graduate from and get your bar license. Judge Eleanor Ross.
What do you think about what he said? Let me read his statement on Instagram. First of all, he is so funny to me. I don't know how his wife put up with him, but anyways, this is Todd Chrisley. What he said was hilarious. It was hilarious. Okay. Todd Chrisley said, Judge Eleanor Ross, federal judge that presided over our corrupt case, is now the last one to fall. Tommy Kremp, prosecutor, and Elias Peters, prosecutor, both no longer with the Northern District. And now this corrupt judge who couldn't focus on our case because she was too busy clapping them cheeks in her chambers per the articles that are surfacing in the last few hours. She needs to be impeached, and we will work with Congress and our legal team to see that this happens. She lied and then asked for forgiveness for admitting she lied. This affair and her conduct was going to, on the entire time she was presiding over our case. Alex Little will help anyone who had a case in front of her pro bono to vet our further corruption. The court clerk stated she never read her pleadings and just rubber stamp denials. Impeached. Whoa. What do y'all think about that, cousins? What do y'all think about that? Do you think she should be impeached because she was getting her cheeks clapped in the judge's chambers in her robe at that? Here's a post on Facebook I thought was interesting from the girls. GWRLS are fighting. And it reads, Todd Chrisley calls for impeachment of Judge Eleanor Ross, who sentenced him in fraud case after she was accused of having sex in chambers during work hours. Todd Chrisley is publicly calling for the impeachment of the federal judge who sentenced him in his bank fraud case after explosive allegations about her conduct surfaced in a new report. The former Chrisley Knows Best star took aim at this U.S. District Judge Eleanor Ross on Instagram after Bloomberg identified her as a federal judge who was previously reprimanded following allegations she engaged in sexual activity inside her judicial chambers during work hours. Ross, who served on the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia, sentenced Chrisley for 12 years in prison in November 2022 after he was convicted on federal bank fraud and tax evasion charges alongside his wife, Julie Chrisley. According to Bloomberg, a judicial conduct committee previously investigated Ross over allegations that she carried on an extramarital affair with the Atlanta Police Department Deputy Chief Kelly Collier. The report alleged the pair had sex inside Ross' chambers during business hours and that the encounters were loud enough to be heard by law clerks. Ross' identity had not previously been made public. Following the report, Chrisley blasted the judge in a fiery Instagram post referring to her as a disgrace of a judge while demanding her impeachment. Federal Judge Ross, identified officially as the cheek-clapping adulterous fornicator in Fulton County, GA, Chrisley wrote in part before adding, "We look forward to seeing this disgrace of a judge impeached." Chrisley also accused Ross of being unable to properly focus on case because of the alleged affair, though he did not provide evidence supporting that claim. Ross was appointed to the federal bench by former President Barack Obama during his second term in office. She's also married to the Georgia State Court Judge Brian Ross, a former prosecutor. Chrisley served more than 3 years of his prison sentence before receiving a presidential pardon from Donald Trump last year. Isn't it interesting? Former President Barack Obama, but receive a presidential pardon from Donald Trump. Interesting. You know I'm a word girl, right? I like to read between the lines. So, no, I don't think she should be impeached for getting her cheeks clapped. I am more shocked that she would risk it all. I am more shocked that she would risk it all. Maybe suspension or something, maybe 30 days suspension. I don't know. But no, I don't think she should be impeached. She's just low class, classless, have no self-respect for herself, her Black people, Black women. She's just low class. Because as a judge, you're doing the do. Forget the adultery, but you're actually doing the do in the chambers. That's the thing for me. Inside the judge's chambers. You know, if she was at the motel across the street, I would probably still tell it. But the disgust for me is in the chambers, ma'am. Okay, let's listen to this.
Do you hear that? Where is that coming from? I hear it. We better check on the judge. Let's check on the judge. Better check on the judge. Let's open this door. The judge is right behind this door. I want to make sure she's okay. Here we go. Judge! This judge. This is what she did. Same judge that sentenced Todd Chrisley. She was appointed by Obama. Judge, listen. Let me get my glasses on for this. Judge, listen. I get it. But you can't do it at work. You can't do it at work. Okay? Nobody could. Okay? Nobody could do this at work, including you, even though you're a judge. Right? You can't do it at work. You get fired or you get suspended or whatever. Okay? You can't do it at work. Now we learned, Judge. We learned. Now going forward, no more of this. No more of this. I said what I said.
So what y'all think about that? Okay, cousins. So check the video, the first video I did it last night, and let me know what you think about Todd Chrisley calling for her impeachment. No, I don't think she should be impeached. You know, I don't know. I know I don't think she should be impeached for this. Todd Chrisley also said she has the most cases going back for review, so that could be a problem. See, this is what I'm talking about. Now they're going to be digging, and you know, you kind of open the door for all this stuff to be happening. People saying all this stuff and you're a married woman, girl. Cousins, I love you. Thanks for those of you showing me love. And so, by the way, the husband profile is the new for the fall is coming September 2026. So go on Janice Hilton Mentoring, register. There are 5 payment plan options. Read carefully, choose wisely. The first 3, if you register for first 3, I can do your one-on-ones right away, send you the ebook and start sending you out the book. And then the other 2 just takes a little bit longer. So for those of you who've been asking about the husband profile, it's coming September. So you could start registering now. Okay, go on my website and see which registration offer you would like to take. Send me an email and let me know. Or I usually send an email once you register. I love you. I adore you. Thank you so much for showing me love and support. My books are available online. The Cousin in Send this judge this book to take her cookies off the table. Honey, take it off the judge's desk. I love you. I love you. Talk to you later. Bye.